All right, welcome everyone to episode 4 of the crew of the Nasty Rancor in Star Wars Edge of the Empire campaign. And I'm Dev from What the Dice. I'll be playing Cass Corona, a Nautilin gunslinger. And we also have Steven playing Dranlo the Hutt, the incorrigible Hutt performer, and our awesome Game Master Luke.
Thank you. That was a good attempt at describing Dranlo. To kind of recap from where we were last time, if you're following on, or if you're joining us for the first time, basically the crew of the Nasty Rancor is kind of a crew without a ship at the moment. Their ship has kind of been moved, for lack of a better choice of words, by the spaceport administrator of the Ryloth city of Kalaun. And basically, she offered the party and their attending Twi'leki boy, Bit Larun, the deal of infiltrating an underground Imperial dig site and basically shutting down the computer systems for long enough for her to send in a team to steal something that she's kind of been cryptic about. And the party has immediately decided that they want to steal for their own ends. You guys kind of successfully... Yeah. I mean, hey, you know that it's probably worth a lot, regardless of what it does. So that's enough for any group of or sort of people living on the edge. Yeah. But you guys successfully kind of navigated your way through the outer tunnels, having met the arms dealer who kind of controls the access point, or at least the access point that you were told about. And we ended the session with you guys kind of stumbling across what you would presume to be the main dig site itself. From an elevated position, you could see kind of before you a large cavern that, as we described, had a large temple in the center of it, kind of just frenetic activity going on throughout the entire cavern. People digging, excavating, people guarding the people digging and excavating. And then above all this, Cass Corona, kind of scoping in with his newly acquired weapon, managed to discern a very ominous figure, and that's where we're jumping in. Is that where this figure is turned and, well, from your perspective, looked straight at you. So I'm going to immediately start this session off with a fear check. Do you want to give me a fear check, Steph?
Yeah, sure. How do we do a fear check?
Should we do destiny points while we're here too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, let's do that first, because then that also saves me the time.
So each person rolls 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. Off to a good start.
And I rolled the dark side. Awesome.
Alright, someone just roll for me, because my dice are being terrible at the moment, so...
Alright.
And I'll trust you just not to fudge it.
There we go. So
excellent.
2 white, 2 black.
All right, perfect. Always good when the force is in balance for the time being. We did actually use those last time, which was actually good on our part, because it's something that we went several times without really addressing. But that's neither here nor there. It's been a long time since I've actually had to explain fear. So basically, fear is just a discipline or cool check.
That's right.
But it's just fear is just kind of a catch-all term used for when you would be afraid, for when a situation where you would reasonably be afraid. So it's not something that comes up every time, but it's basically in this instance because of you're confronting someone in your sight that is quite considerably a challenge to you, and it's a briefly frightening situation.
He's an intimidating and menacing dark presence.
Couldn't have said it better than myself.
So can we choose cool or discipline, or would you prefer one or the other?
I'm gonna say cool because
Sweet.
I feel like it's maintaining cool, right?
Yeah, Cass is more cool than disciplined, so that works for him.
Yeah. But so this is gonna be a hard check. So enjoy.
Okay. Should we talk about our XP too? Before we...
Oh yeah. Feel free to jump in with that. Sorry, I just kind of jumped straight into the session.
Oh yeah, I chose perhaps the most ridiculous talent I possibly could. So I picked up the natural athlete talent.
Because that works perfect for a Hutt.
Yeah, once per session, I can now re-roll an athletics or coordination check. So
Dranlo can start doing chin-ups.
Perfect. Fine.
That's it? That's the only thing you took?
Yep, that's all I could afford.
Okay, so in Cass's case, he did a lot of sneaking around last session, and a lot of his training from his past has come back fresh in his mind. So he's got an extra rank in stealth now. And,
Okay, nice.
when he got his new sniper rifle, he had some time to get pretty familiar with it, and it's a pretty standard issue Imperial sniper rifle. So he does actually already have some familiarity with it. So he got an extra rank in ranged heavy too. And I had a little bit left over, so I gave him 1 rank in rapid reaction. So I can suffer strain per rank to add a hit to initiative checks.
Okay, nice.
So I can take strain to go first, basically.
Yeah, cool. All right, excellent. Apparently, natural athlete was incredibly expensive. I find that appropriate, considering.
You do a lot of training for that.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of rushing. I'm kind of rushing down to dedication, so
That's fine.
yeah.
That's fine.
The really crappy thing is, like, I had a choice. I could either get the bad actor or the biggest fan, or dedication. Biggest fan looks really cool. It's like once per session, I can make a charm check to turn someone into my biggest fan.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh man, that is in keeping with your character. That is all I'm going to say about it.
That's highly recommended for next session.
Yeah, so I can't get that. That's like all the way up down the other side of the tree.
Fine. It's a goal to work towards. You haven't earned your biggest fan yet, so
you don't have any fans yet.
I'll turn that Imperial. Yeah, that Imperial customs agent is going to love me.
All right. So fear check. Cool.
3 purple.
Yeah, 3 purple.
Okay.
Alright, should I roll this one as well?
Oh. Cass
you're
is
fine.
scared shitless. No?
Oblivious, ignorance is bliss kind of thing. So you're fine, because you haven't actually really seen him in detail.
Sure. Yeah. So I haven't actually failed. I'm not afraid, but there's a lot of threat right now.
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna say that you suffer that amount of strain, just basically trying to maintain composure and just keep on. Like basically, so to fight your immediate urge to break from cover and kind of reveal your position.
Okay.
So this is despite your claims that you're not a very disciplined person, this is your training kicking in and just saying don't move a muscle.
Yeah, but I've got the cold sweats right now. I'm still feeling it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Exactly.
So 4 strain. All right. Damn.
All right, but I mean, on that note, as you guys are kind of just surveying the scene, as I said before, you guys are you're quite elevated up from the actual cabin itself. You guys are kind of on like almost like a ledge above the cabin floor. Where you guys are, the path kind of continues on to the left, sort of hugging sort of the cabin wall for a bit before opening up into going back outside of this main cabin, kind of into a tunnel. But it looks like it would probably continue around, I guess. You mean that would be your presumption if you've been sent this way by a source who claims to have scouted out the cabin. But there you go, your party. But yeah, inside the cabin, as I said, so Cass, you do see kind of the figure, like having kind of looked towards you, kind of, sort of shrug, and then he walks inside the temple, so he's no longer visible. But from the outside of the temple, you guys can see, even you, Dranlo, without sort of enhanced optics, just sort of a lot of activity going on. People are clearly working on something. And people are working on different things, so it's not like they're all clustered at one sort of site. They're all spread out throughout the cabin.
So when the guy the dark figure saw me and we made our eye contact, he didn't react except to just walk into the temple.
No, yeah. So it was just kind of that kind of from what you would hope, and from the way you would kind of interpret it, it was that kind of instinctive sort of like I feel like I'm being watched, and that kind of look to check the area behind. But from what you've seen, he hasn't appeared to have made anything of that, which is probably good for you.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to confirm. Can we see any of computer terminals or anything like that outside of the temple? Any workstation set up?
You'd be able to see within sort of the cavern floor, like around a couple of the outer sort of dig areas, like on the other side of the cavern, what looks to be sort of like small sort of terminals. But yeah, they're not really within convenient reach of where you are. Like again, you guys are quite elevated, and this is quite a large cavern, so it wouldn't be just like a duck and roll. This would be you'd need proper climbing equipment to get down, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So we'd have to find another way, another entrance to the ground floor. Let's call it.
Yes. So that would be the other thing. So kind of from the sort of from the position you are as you kind of take it in, and especially as your eyes kind of get adjusted to it, because as I said, there's these big, heavy industrial lights.
Yeah.
You'd see kind of if where you guys were was sort of say bottom towards the left of the cavern, if you were kind of positioning yourself on a circular sort of compass, you'd be able to see sort of 3 other entrances, but at ground level, sort of at your kind of like your 1 or 2 o'clock, one at your 6 o'clock, and then one at sort of 3 o'clock. So kind of down that right-hand side, there would be sort of 3 entrances at ground level to the tunnel, and then kind of opposite to where you guys are on the cavern, you can see what looks to be kind of an overlooking structure that's kind of embedded into the side of the cavern wall, where it kind of has sort of what looks to be sort of like glass windows, but they're kind of frosted over, like you can't really see inside very well.
So I'll turn to Dranlo and I'll say, looks like we can't get down from here, but there might be some other entrances we can try to use if we double back.
I kind of look like I'm sniffing the air for a second, and I say, "Oh, all right, it's like something smells a bit different about you."
Cass checks it. He's like, "Well, I have been, crawling around in the dirt for a while, but I don't think it's anything you've never smelled before."
I kind of like shrug my shoulders and I go, "Oh, well, maybe the scout troopers have something we can take."
There you go.
I feel like it would be remiss of me to point out the irony of Dranlo commenting on the smell of anyone.
That's why Cass was very confused. Like, can you even smell me over the smell of yourself?
Hey, he wouldn't even notice it at this point. So that's fine.
Yeah, I'm desensitized to my own smell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what do you think, Dranlo? Should we double back or make a distraction here and then double back? Drop a frag grenade on these guys and then run back? What are you thinking?
It's probably best we don't draw attention to ourselves right now. I mean, if you want to, go nuts. It's like I could always chop up some more imbies, but I think it's best if we go back and search those bodies to see if we can't find a rope or something.
Yeah.
I'm imagining kind of like Bit Larun at this point, like looking at you guys, like where you're just like, why don't we just drop a frag grenade on them and just kind of like, guys like completely bug-eyed, like, you guys fucking nuts, like shit. Like.
And Cass would be like, well, it can't be any better than trying to watch Dranlo climb down a rope. I've never seen a Hutt climb a rope before.
I'm like, that's because we're really good at it. The greatest samurai is the one that never unsees his sword.
You're probably good at rappelling, to be honest. You just slam up the hand and then just shoot down that rope.
Most likely.
Yeah.
It's the landing that's the problem.
Yeah, splat. Okay, well, I guess we'll double back to the bodies.
Sorry, hang on. Sorry, this is just a quick question. Did one of you have, well, I believe both of you have, but like a proper comlink?
Yeah, I've got a comlink.
Yeah, I have one. Short range comlink.
did either of you have sort of wait? So what's the range? Short range actually is longer than you expect, given the name, isn't it? Because it's like a sci-fi short range rather than a real short range.
Yeah.
So
I think you're basically in this. If you're in the same geographic location, you can talk to each other. Like you're in the same city or whatever.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, Dranlo, you're actually gonna hear sort of some crackling over your comm at this point. And you're gonna hear this kind of sort of like deeper sort of voice, and it's gonna be like, Fat man, you there? Fat worm.
Cass can be like, Jesus, Dranlo, put that thing on vibrate. We're on a stealth mission here.
I kind of pull it out and I like look really, really panicked. I kind of go, you want my comrade, and like pass it to Cass.
Cass will look at this comic that's suddenly turned on with some dude we don't even know, and he'll be like, hello? This is not Fat Man. This is Tadpole. Why are you invading our secure frequency? Who are you?
Is this a big-eyed, freaking-looking fellow?
No, that's the boy.
I like rip the comic out of your hand and give it to Bit Larun instead.
Okay, so Bit Larun's got the communicator now.
So you see kind of Bit Larun like look very confused, and then just kind of like do the good old like listening in, kind of like hearing information, just kind of like the He's like, all right, give me a sec. And you see him just kind of like take the comlink and just like crush this underfoot, this comlink. Before taking kind of the the comms that you guys swiped off the scout troopers earlier, and you see him kind of fiddling basically with the connections, and so presumably you guys are looking at him kind of rather confused, especially Dranlo, whose comlink is now in pieces.
Dude, that was a whole 50 credits. Might doesn't grow on trees in the galaxy, you know.
But so you see him just kind of say like, they figured we would have come this way, so they basically asked me if we had any better secure channels. So he kind of points to the army grade equipment. But then so he kind of picks it up the backpack and just kind of unceremoniously sort of goes to drape it around you, Dranlo, as if to say this is now your problem, and that the speaker very much wants to speak to the fat worm, as it were.
I look at me and I go, oh, I thought Cass was the fat man. He's been getting a bit chubby lately.
That's true. It's all that drinking.
And I kind of seem pretty oblivious to the fact that somebody's just called me fat.
Yeah,
but
you're pretty athletic for a Hutt. I mean, Jabba's fat, but you're pretty fit, man.
Yeah. Naturally athletic.
You work out.
Yeah. All right. So like, I kind of take the equipment and like put it on and like hook it all up to myself.
So again, this voice kind of calls out, but a bit more kind of incessant at this point, like fat worm. Is this you? I need to. You were the one I was told to communicate with.
I say fat worm. I think we're mistaken. I'm a Hutt.
and you just kind of hear like a pause. And then just like kind of like just a brief chuckle as the person says, "Yeah, they told me you were a wise ass."
Cass just mouths a bit like, "Who is this guy? What is this?"
But so kind of preempting this question, the guy kind of says to you, Dranlo, that I'm with the team that's coming up behind you guys. Except we figured it might be a bit of a shit show, so I've gone from a side route. Whereabouts are you guys in relation to the main cavern? Like, have you gotten to the main cavern yet?
we're kind of above it. Cass seemed to look out over the scene and then shit himself over something. I didn't see what it was, but
Cass will whisper to you. Tell them it's all clear. Tell them they should just go right in right now. Everything's all clear. Especially the temple. It's perfect time to go in the temple.
My compadre says it's all clear.
Yeah.
But having heard you kind of say like, yeah, he looks like he kind of shit himself. You'll hear like kind of a pause, and then again like kind of like a haha. Yeah, I think I know what he saw.
I kind of like slowly turn to Cass, and I say, "What did you see?"
I didn't see anything. It's totally clear down there. They can just go right in. Terminals are wide open. Just the temple's open. Just sneak past the guards and it's all good.
I say Tadpole here says everything is clear.
And then you just hear again, like it's a common feature. Just pause in and just like, yeah, you guys are real funny. I can hear the drilling through the microphone. All clear, my ass.
Cass is like, well, there goes our distraction.
I say, well, do you have any better ways to get down there? Because we're having a bit of a we're not going to be able to get down there without some rope.
And we can't climb rope very well.
And then you kind of hear like this is the first time this voice has gotten serious, and he's just like, hate to ruin on your parade, but if I have any idea about where you guys are, have you tried looking to your left?
And Cass will look to his left and just see the cavern wall. Nothing's there, man. Yeah. Tell him nothing's there.
No. And you will see sort of on the platform where you are that the path continues along to the left, down a bit down the cavern, and then kind of goes into like a tunnel inside the cavern wall.
Can we get down that way without the ropes?
No. So it's pretty much you could literally walk that way. It's like you walk. It follows the cavern wall and then kind of goes back into the cavern wall for a section. And so kind of having heard you guys sort of stop talking, this guy's gonna just say, "You guys didn't look to the left, did you?"
That was the boys' job.
I say, of course we knew that was there, but we need some rope because it is dangerous.
And you just hear like a, you be fine, Worm. You'll be fine. You guys stick to things, don't you? That's what I heard.
I'm like, okay. I think you need a cool code name as well. How about we call you
Shithead.
Musky Womprat.
Womprat.
Womprat. And you just seem like a dog this without a beat. It's like, yeah, Womprat's fine. Actually quite accurate. That's fine. We'll go with that.
I'm like, all right. What do I want to call myself? I look at Cass and I say, what should I call us?
Tadpole and Worm.
Tadpole and Worm. I go, all right, that works. Worm out, and like turn off the comm.
Yeah. What a dick. We should totally like get those guys killed.
Are you kind of like kind of like ending the message? You immediately kind of get like a hail through it again from the same, basically like from the same line.
I kind of like pick it up and I go worm over and out and kind of shut it off again.
Nice. Don't even let him talk.
But yeah, like when the hail comes back in, I go what? I just go what?
And it's like, yo, Worm, this is Womprat. Not sure if you remember. But basically he's just gonna say like, all we need is if you guys follow this path for a little bit, I should be able to meet up with you guys ahead of the main team, and we should be able to sort this out all together. He seems a little bit more conciliatory this time, realizing that perhaps he does kind of need you guys. So.
All right, I say yeah. I kind of go. He wants to meet us. He wants to meet us. Maybe we should head down that way.
Yeah, we could do that, or we could leave the backpack here, turn the volume way up, so next time he calls us, it can be our distraction, and we'll get the hell out of here. And then we could let the Imperials pick up the backpack and talk to him.
I go, Bit. I kind of like look at it and I say, Bit, can you pull a communicator out of this so I can plant it on the guy when I meet him?
And he looks at you, and he's just like, it's just a kind of look of like, what crazy shit are you pulling? So then you just kind of see him just go, I mean, I could always try.
I go, okay, and like I hand him the communicator, and I go, I just want the speaker bit out of it. So
he's like, all right, give me a second.
And we want it amplified. We want the volume amplified.
Make it as loud as you can.
Yeah, that's a key point.
So I'm presuming you guys are assisting him with this. So I'm gonna give him a boost. Sure. Yeah, like just by assisting I mean like basically backseat driving, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Is it loud enough? Make it louder. Make it louder, Bit. I don't think that goes there. I think those wires should be connected instead.
Damn it!
I mean, it was no. So he hasn't been able to pull out the part like where it's a communicator. But he's been able to kind of create something that will be incredibly loud, incredibly loud.
Perfect.
When the time requires.
All right, I had to say, crybaby is go and put it in my chest pocket.
Nice. So I'll pat Bit Larun on the shoulder and I'll be like, good job, Bit. Way to be part of the team again. Finally.
So for reference, I'm gonna say that in character, you guys think that he succeeded and like the comm aspect of this will work. But really, what's gonna happen is like you'll go to activate the comms, and it'll just be an incredibly loud, like sort of modem screeching sound. So it'll still achieve the desired effect. It just won't be an actual comm.
That's okay. That's perfect.
We have just killed our characters.
We're facilitating our own distraction here.
Yeah.
Wombat distraction. Okay,
all
so
right.
let's go meet the Wombat.
All right.
Do we need to sneak down this cavern section, or like are we exposed to the
You can always give
level?
me a check. As a GM, I'm always fine with you guys giving me a check. So you definitely can give me a check for that. I will just be no matter the result, I will be correct.
All right. I think I'm gonna let you go ahead first and like wave me through.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go first. What's the difficulty? 2? Standard?
Yeah, 2. This will just be 2. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys can.
All right.
All right.
So I'm stealthy, but there's one bad thing that happens.
Have you got any idea about what that one bad thing is?
Yeah, it's a big giant worm behind me that's also trying to hide.
No, I was gonna say maybe I'm hanging back and I get really distracted and like absent-mindedly just throw a rock at you to hurry you up.
Yeah, I'm going too slow as I'm creeping along and I'm moving from rock cover to rock cover.
And a rock just goes like,
my head.
Or a rock bounces off the wall and goes clunk, 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 further down the corridor.
Just this really loud, like penny drop of this rock falling kind of thing.
Yeah. So I'll hit the dirt in behind cover because I'm still like stealthy. I passed the stealth.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know about Dranlo's stealth check.
Yeah, and I'm presuming like kind of came with you because who wants to try and stealth with the big worm? So
he's getting smarter these days.
So Dranlo, you can give me the same check, just with you can give me a setback on this because of the kind of the loud noise that kind of is drawing a little bit of attention.
All right.
Stay low, man. Stay low.
I go what? I go what? I can't hear you. Stay low. It kind of echoes down the path we're going down.
There's big like slurping sounds as he's going across the loose gravel.
So I'm gonna say that you make it across and like you kind of hear just kind of like I need like a voice modulator for the stormtroopers. Yeah. But in that stormtrooper like what was that? And you're not sure if anyone saw you or if they just kind of put it down to something, just like natural living within the cavern or something like that. But that's gonna be fun. I'll leave that one cryptic.
All right.
If they're like kind of onto us, can we do something to try to deceive them or distract them? Do you think like they're alerted or they're not really that concerned?
I'm no, that's fine. I'm gonna leave that hanging, and so whether or not you think that they're alerted, that is on you.
Okay, I'm just like, hurry up, man, hurry up, come on, what are you doing?
Oh, come on, you stupid fat worm!
Jeez, man.
All right, I kind of like slowly
Bit Larun,
Stay low, stay low.
Okay, I kind of like start. I say stay low, and I try to get low to the ground, but I can't move if I do that. So I kind of
You're just flopping around on the ground.
Yeah. Like I'm like breakdancing on the
Doing
ground.
the literal worm. He's doing the literal. Wow. In all my days, I never thought that would happen.
Okay, forget it. Just hurry up. Just get over here.
I kind of like shrug my shoulders and just like walk over there.
All right. Nice.
So we're approaching that other cavern.
Yeah. So you guys, I mean, despite your weren't we spotted, you guys decide to, I guess, at Cass's directions, kind of push on. Not stay long enough to find out. So you guys kind of pass through a small tunnel again. Again, it's kind of littered with that sort of crystal sort of structure. And then eventually you come into this into another larger room. And so kind of before you, you can see that like immediately dominating your attention in the center of this room, kind of lit by like sort of unseen sort of blue lighting, is sort of a stone circle within the center of the room, and then kind of ringing that stone circle are the large statues of 6 figures in ornate armor, and so they're all kind of the armor's kind of all sort of ending in points, and their faces are all covered with these really ostentatious masks. And this is all made from stone, and you can kind of see what looks to be sort of lightsabers hung at their belts. But you're all kind of looking at this from a distance, because immediately in front of you, in the kind of the room where you've come in, is just a large sort of yawning chasm, and it is on the outer parts. It's completely black. But then immediately in front of you is a light bridge, kind of powered by these sort of humming pylons. And yes, does someone want to give me like a perception check, kind of like to investigate the immediate surrounds?
Yep.
All right. What difficulty?
This will just be an easy, but it'll have a setback, kind of to reflect the low lighting sort of thing,
All right.
sort of conditions.
Okay.
Oh, are you kidding me?
You're the most useful worm.
I should be able to see through time with this character, but cool. So what are my advantages?
You notice that so you kind of immediately sort of drawn, I guess, to the light bridge, and you notice that it's kind of, it's not like sort of one continuous sort of like light wave. So basically what you have in front of you is this grid pattern, and for the sake of convenience I'm going to show you in a second, but it's basically a 5x4 grid. So it's kind of 5 going downward and then 4 across. 5 rows, 4 columns. I know how to word. And you can see kind of in bold, kind of bolded light in each sort of, I guess, tile, for lack of a better word, is a letter of basic. And so, kind of to give you an idea, hopefully that comes up well enough. That's basically what you're looking at.
That's the bridge?
That's the grid. Yeah, that's the bridge. So there's basic and actual basic, and then basic as written in as English.
Okay.
For those of us that don't speak basic. But then, yeah, you kind of see, to the immediate sort of left of the bridge itself, kind of written on the stone circle side, you kind of see a sentence kind of written on stone sort of plinth on the other side, and it says, "Trust the power of the Jedi." And that's all you see, aside from the obvious giant statues dominating the background.
I kind of turn to Cass and I go, oh, I think we're in over our heads here.
Yeah, it's like
I say
Cass
that
pretty much. I don't think he graduated high school, so.
I say
only graduated high school.
I say I remember the Jedi very clearly, and they could rough you up. You would not come out of that.
Yeah. And power of the Jedi. The only thing I know about Jedi power is this Force thing they keep talking about.
You go. I kind of go. I've got stories of the Clone Wars and how I was smuggling something and a Jedi caught me. And like, long story short, I got a giggle, and so I changed careers.
Well, not all Jedi were bad, I think.
You guys, oh no, he says, oh no, he was very cordial, but lightsabers being held to your throat isn't very, it isn't the most fun thing to happen.
Yeah. And Cass will get like unusually kind of quiet at the mention of Jedi and the Clone Wars and stuff like that. Like normally he usually quips back and there's the usual banter, but on this particular subject, Cass will just kind of like ha 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 yeah, and just kind of like let it drop and just kind of get quiet for a second, and then he'll walk over to the bridge and kind of changing the subject and I say, so how are we supposed to cross this? Are we supposed to spell out something when we walk across? Bit, you're smart. What's the answer to this?
So you're gonna see him kind of look at this. So for reference, I have sent this over our Facebook chat to save me having to hold this thing up to the camera again. Although I will briefly do that again because I'm a nice guy. But so basically, you're gonna see kind of Bit just kind of like look at it very attentively at the kind of light bridge, and he's just like, "Well, I've never seen a bridge made out of light before, so that's something." Have you guys ever seen one of these things? Do you reckon this will actually hold us? Kind of looking very pointedly at Dranlo at that last bit.
I'm like, I don't know, and so like, I've kind of been a bit wounded. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull a stim pack out of my thing and inject it into me, and then throw the empty thing onto the bridge, just to see what happens.
Okay.
So we're about pick a tile, any tile. We're about to throw it.
I'm gonna throw it on to. There is no D, so I can't do D for Dranlo. Cool. I will throw it onto the R space. Or I just throw it. And it happens to land on the R.
So you see it kind of like rest on the R, and kind of. So it kind of like stops there and sort of sits fine for like 3 or 4 seconds, and then it basically kind of like starts slipping through the light bridge before kind of like once it reaches that point of no return, it just falls away into nothing.
Okay.
Cass is going to be standing at the edge of the bridge, and he's going to be pretty thoughtful and a little bit quiet still, and he's going to just close his eyes for a minute. And he's going to open his eyes, and without saying anything, he's going to put his left foot on the F.
All right. Do you want to give me a coordination check?
Okay. 1 sec. Okay. And what's the difficulty?
3.
This one? 2? 1?
No, 3. It is 3. It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard to step on in the F.
No, this is not right. You're doing the coordination.
Huh.
Ooh, okay.
Huh.
So this is good. So
Where does
basically,
that
looking like kind of, so trusting as it were in the force. You step out and your leg just kind of falls through nothing basically. So
Damn,
I mean, you didn't commit full. You didn't
That's it,
commit
screw the
fully.
force, man. I'm done with this shit.
You didn't commit fully to this, which was probably for your ultimate safety. So I'm gonna say that you managed to kind of, like, as you start to fall away, kind of grab onto the pylon beside, and so you're sort of hanging there, like legs dangling out in space.
Yeah.
I say, well, I kind of look at it and I say, okay. I kind of like look at the statues and I look back at the thing and then I look at the bridge and I go, we can track a thing that says force across here. And
That's
I
what
kind
I
of
was trying to do, but obviously it didn't work.
and I say, yeah, well, you stepped on the F and I threw the stim pack on the R. So what happens if we do this? And I like pull out my vibro axe and like put the hilt on the G there at the front.
The G.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're kind of prepared for this. So I'm not going to roll. I love that the entire time this is happening, Cass is just hanging from the pylon, like legs kicking out.
Like, can I get a little help here, man?
So your vibroax kind of kind of just passes straight through pretty much, because you kind of put it down with a little bit of force and just like much like Cass's foot, just goes straight through as if nothing moved.
And with my other hand, I'm just going to be waving around, touching all the other tiles, seeing if any of them are solid, while I'm hanging onto the pylon with my left arm.
So basically, so nothing really is giving you any sort of touch. It's a frantic. Nothing is helping.
I hate this shit. I just want to shoot something, damn it.
So I'm gonna say that Bit Larun, kind of rushes to your side and kind of gives you a hand to get back up.
I'm sitting there like jamming the hilt of my vibro axe into things.
Dranlo's just swinging his axe around and nothing. Thanks, kid. I'll give him another pat on the shoulder.
But actually, so hang on. So Dev, spoilers. So you have a pretty intimate sort of relationship with sort of Jedi in general. Do you want to give me a knowledge check? I guess.
Sure.
Like lore, and kind of,
Okay.
I'm going to presume now that your immediate sort of plan hasn't worked, that you kind of look around further to cast a wider net, as it were.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Jedi and what kind of connections we can make here from my something from my past.
Yeah, so this would just be an average check. So you can have a boost for your past relationship.
Familiarity.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. My rolls are brutal tonight. Oh.
Jesus, guys. Man, maybe make use of those destiny points. But no, I will kind of we'll say that kind of you're looking around, and you kind of, I guess your eyes naturally kind of while you're thinking are kind of drawn to the statues, and you're just kind of looking over them, and they look very strange. What they're wearing looks nothing like what I guess the people you encountered in your time.
I don't see anything that's going to help us with the bridge specifically, but I recognize that statue from some Jedi history or something that I was told once. And there might be a connection between what I know about that statue and what can help us with the bridge.
That's really good. I will I'm kind of like to ease this along. I'm going to flip a destiny point and say that's part of like the use of the advantage. So you recognize the kind of, and it's kind of, you know, in hindsight, kind of given away by the very angular, the very sharp-looking carving of their armor. That these figures, you don't really know fully who they are, but you recognize that kind of in passing, like these were people that you had sort of become acquainted with through your Jedi history, like brief lessons, as these people were Sith. So.
Okay.
I think that helps.
Sith. All right. So that's why my foot fell through the app. Man.
Oh, I love it when I give a brain burner. When it goes quiet for like 10 seconds, you know.
I'm horrible at puzzles, man. This is totally my weakness in role playing. I'm worst at this kind of thing.
That's fine.
Which is bad because that means it's all on Steven.
What Horizon tonight here, Dev? It's fine.
What did I say? What did the message say again? Up the top.
Said so. Looking over it again, it says, "Trust the power of the Jedi."
And but there's Sith statues. Damn it.
By the end of this campaign, Dev, I assure you, you will become far more familiar with puzzles and how to deal with them.
And I just know, like, if there's people watching this right now, there's probably like comments like, people like, "Damn it, the answer's this. What's wrong with you people? Don't you know anything?"
No, it's fine. This is an intentional like change of pace. So this is good. I'm enjoying seeing you guys flatten out.
I'm glad you're happy that our brains are fried right now. Okay. When in doubt, I'm gonna fall back on what my character knows instead of what I know. So,
always a good move.
Yeah.
What does your character know? I guess is the question.
So I'm trying to figure out if Cass doesn't know too much. What would he know in this situation?
I'm gonna call it right now. You're all gonna hate me when you realize when you get there.
Steve, anything? Dranlo?
I've got nothing right now.
He's sweating and like smoke's coming out of his ears and he's just scratching his head and he's just like.
So I guess Bit's gonna kind of turn to you, and because Bit isn't really as worldly experienced in the higher orders of things as you are, Cass.
But he's got a data pad with an internet connection.
Hey guys,
Bit,
can you crack this brain
man?
burner for me? It's really just
Bit, look this up, man.
Well, I guess he's gonna kind of like just turn and just say to you like, what do you know about these guys? Like, because I'm presuming that you kind of done the good old like Sith, Jedi, like kind of like trying to ponder it over. So I guess he's just gonna say like, what's the deal? What's their relationship like? I guess I know the obvious that they're not friends, but
well, light is the power of the Jedi. But light can't be spelled.
Yes, it can.
Oh, really?
I think. Oh no, there's no
do some
T.
jumping. We have to do some jumping. Yeah, I guess we. No, it doesn't really work. Oh, Bit, come on, Bit, you gotta do better than that, man.
Man, don't trust Bit. He's like 15. Come on.
Okay, Bit. I told you before we came in here. This is the time. We told you this is the time for you to redeem yourself. Be part of the team again. This is it. This is your moment. Use that brain of yours.
Alright, can I flip a destiny point and say I punched a Jedi and got a lecture about it?
I'm gonna say that without flipping a destiny point, you most certainly punched a Jedi because my God, that's something Dranlo would do.
Totally.
Like 100%, I can see that happening.
Alright.
You asked the Jedi if they had nipples.
No, I like
What was
punched
the
a Jedi and I
lecture
got
about? I guess is the
like the scene as I see it is I had one too many drinks and just like wanted to get into a fight because and so I punched a guy and I got a Jedi and he gave me a lecture about morality and why I shouldn't hit and told me a fable about the Jedi.
I'm gonna adopt my best like Alec McGinnis and I imagine this happened when you were younger, by the way. It's like now young Master Hutt, you have given into the hateful aspects of the Force. That is the path of the Sith. Now I know that you are not an inheritor of the Force, and you are certainly not one gifted with the Force. God help us. I can only stand the one Hutt Jedi we have currently. Down the dark side is a path towards emptiness, and that is not the way which the Jedi go. We are spreaders of the light, and damn it, you spilled my drink, you filthy Hutt. and he turned away with a surly sort of like harumph.
That's great. That's great.
So what in your reminiscing, did you come up with the answer?
All right. So okay, maybe it's less to do with what's
no idea is too crazy.
Maybe it's less of the what's to do with on the bridge. Okay, all the statues, do they all have the same pointy stuff? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they look like they're different sizes and sort of some of them are different species. Like you could tell by kind of their shapes, but they are all bedecked in the same sort of equipment and gear.
All right.
It's the Angry Sith collection of yesteryear, as it were.
All right.
Dranlo, how about you, since you're probably smarter than Cass, how about you do a lore check investigating these statues in more detail and also flip a destiny point at the same time? I'll just let you know, like, it's something with these statues.
I'm curious. I don't know whether I'd know anything about that, though.
I only have 2 greens. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be... Unless you want to assist me.
Right.
But
Let's go. Let's do this. I'll try it.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, thank God.
So I'm gonna say that you kind of it's as you kind of hinted at Dranlo that you wouldn't really know too much, but I feel like kind of the very obvious kind of number and the kind of the shapes of their figures and like the armor that they're wearing would kind of spark something. And you think, you're not sure, you're pulling a name, and you think these might be statues of the Dread Masters. And
it's a name.
you would only really have like kind of like the equivalent of like a movie tagline for what their story is about, and it would be that they basically somehow they used fear to dominate the galaxy for like a period of time.
All right.
And Dev, get the hell away from Google.
Oh, I know the guy. I know who it is now, but I couldn't remember the spelling of his name. Oh no! I was like, shit. I know who it is now.
All right. I turn to Cass and I go, something about Dreadlords. Oh, the Dread Masters.
Yeah, and the first letter is gonna be N. Oh man, it's N-O.
That was like the one letter we didn't touch from the start.
Did we? Did we touch N already?
No, we touched F and G and R.
So if Cass like reaches down and touches N, what's gonna happen?
Oh.
He's not gonna step on N this time. He's just gonna touch it with his hand. He's gonna kneel down and touch it.
So yes. You kind of have like that kind of brief kind of. You're not immediately falling through. You have kind of a. You have like a second or two, basically.
Okay, so I reckon it's NOR because the R held the stim pack for a second.
Yeah, it's NO for sure, and then yeah, R sounds good.
Well, yeah, I kind of Norse, Nori, Norca. Alright.
Alright.
The whole session's gonna be us just sitting here at this bridge until the Imperials. And you know what? At this point, Cass is just gonna be like, okay, you know what, Dranlo, fuck this. He's like, let's just find another way to go. Screw this chamber. Let's just get out of here, man.
I go. Pass me your blaster. I go. Just
I just got it.
Pass me your blaster.
But it's my.
Just pass me your blaster.
Okay, this is a bit
trust me.
No, I don't trust you. You're gonna throw my blaster across the bridge.
I was going to pull the trigger.
And you know, I mean, I'm imagining Bit standing there like the whole time that you guys are bickering. He's like, Dranlo, you can have my blaster. Dranlo, man, Dranlo.
Take Bit's speed shooter.
I kind of go, oh, thanks, Bit, and I like pick him up by the arm and like go to aim it with him still holding it.
You're gonna throw Bit across the bridge.
I'm not going to throw him. I'm going to try and shoot the letters up. I'm going to try and shoot the letters to see if we can't get the solid thing. And I'm like, so we know the first two letters, and like I shoot the N to see if it sticks, or whether it just goes straight through.
Yeah, I'm going to say kind of it sticks a little bit, right? I'll give you that much.
I go, okay. So what happens if we shoot it the one you fell through and like shoot it at the F just to see what happens?
The F, yeah. Shoot the F.
Yeah, so I shoot the F.
So you just kind of see it kind of like pass into nothing, like just downward.
Okay.
All right, I'm like, okay, so we've got this, and I've still got Bit like holding on for dear life as I wave his blaster around, shooting these letters.
Yeah.
What's this guy's name? Oh man.
Do you want to give me a dice roll?
Yeah, sure.
No.
So
NOS maybe. Nos.
So ranged light.
Oh dear God.
Well, this will be a literal combined check. So what's your agility?
1.
He's the first dreadlord of the Sith.
So it becomes because you're combining with Bit Larun. So you have do you have any ranks in ranged light? I guess is my
I do not. I do not.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's all right. So basically, you're just gonna take a Bit stat for this, I'm presuming, and you'll just give him this boost. So it's 1 yellow, 1 green, a blue, and then 1 purple. Because you guys are you're shooting at light sort of stuff.
All right.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure this dice roller hates us today. We've rolled like 1 success the entire session between the both of us.
What letter were you aiming at?
I was just like I was trying to methodically move my way up. I imagine.
Yeah, just give me a letter.
Oh.
So
Cass will tell you to shoot O.
Yeah, so I go, all right, you're the boss. Like shoot O.
All right. So for reference, for those playing along at home, O is for sunk my battleship. It is row 2, column 2. So it's like bottom left-hand corner nearly.
Yeah.
So amazingly, considering that you are at close range, but perhaps I guess less surprisingly, considering that you're bodily waving around the small Twi'lek boy, telling him when to shoot. you actually miss. And it kind of it flies. Yeah, what'd you roll? 4 advantage. Jesus Christ. This is gonna be the funniest roll of life because that's funny because you were aiming at a task. So it's gonna work out great. So it ends up firing to the side. Can I get all of you to make like an agility check, just a straight like agility check?
Ricochet. The ricocheting pea shooter.
What difficulty?
So this will be an average difficulty, but with a setback because you guys were sure as shit not expecting this.
Oh God.
Jesus, Dranlo, what are you doing? Yep. Okay, so I don't dodge.
So Dranlo and Bit Larun are struck by this rebounding laser bolt. So basically, you fired to the left of the bridge, like into this impenetrable gloom, and it's just rebounded straight back at the two of you. So you can you can take 5 damage there, Dranlo.
Oh man. Okay. At that, I was gonna be like, okay, guys, that's it. We're done. We're doubling back to the dead scouts. We're gonna get some rope and we're gonna climb down that fucking wall. We're done with this bridge.
All right. Can I soak the damage or?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not like it's just the normal bolt.
Kind of grazes my arm. I got a better idea. Why don't we go back? We drag the bodies of the scout troopers in, and then we throw them onto the bridge.
Yeah.
And then so you see Bit Larun kind of like, so I'm presuming like, so where your arm was kind of holding his arm, like that's where he's gotten hit, and you just kind of see like so Cass is just like, screw this shit. You just see him just like, wait. He's like, wait. Let's try this shit again. Hang on. Oh my God.
This is why I stopped going to school. What?
And so he's aimed intentionally at this time, like so wide of the bridge, and he's fired, and it's rebounded off and hit one of the statues, and kind of bounce around in there, and he's just like, look at what's happening.
Oh well, in that case, Kaz is gonna take out his big MFG, and he's gonna sight down. He's just gonna blast those statues. If that's all we gotta do, now we're talking my language.
Please roll.
And don't forget, it goes boom when it goes down across the bridge. Okay,
fantastic.
Oh, finally, an easy answer to this problem. Do I have any difficulty? What is this, 2?
No, you can give me 1 difficulty, but I'm just so you're shooting at the statue, yes?
Yeah, with my new MFT.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic.
Okay. So 1 difficulty. That's what I rolled.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And Cass is like, finally, this is what I'm good at, not solving these riddles.
So,
and boom.
So you see, so you see like a large chunk of the stonework of like the nearest statue drop and fall, and kind of sort of like roll across the circle, and sort of so like where the edge of the circle is like the yawning chasm. So it's like it's quite far away from the light bridge. Kind of roll towards the edge of the inky blackness, and roll over, and doesn't fall through. It just sits out on nothing.
I say, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
So we can walk across the darkness? Oh man.
I say, okay. I kind of like, I pull out my vibro axe again and I start like prodding around in the darkness
to
see if I can find a solid spot.
Cass is pretty mad. He's thinking about shooting more of the statues.
So Dranlo, wherever you kind of reach out into the dark void, you against all like kind of what your senses would have you believe, you just feel solid ground.
I kind of say, son of a bitch, and I kind of like, I do like a blind person with a cane, and I just kind of like tap my way across as I kind of start moving across.
And Cass will just follow the slime trail that goes across darkness. So he knows exactly where to go.
Yeah.
And he's just muttering to himself, "Ah, Jedi fucking Sith, you know, I hate this shit." So just out of character for a second, what was the answer to the? Was there actually an answer to the bridge?
All right.
I have to know because we spent so long trying to solve it. I just want to know.
I'll put you out of your misery. So as you guys correctly deduced, you could spell the word force. For a fourth in the light bridge. There was sort of a secondary path, which was kind of like would semi-work, which was, as you kind of noticed, was the name.
Yeah.
But so the kind of the question was trust the power of the Jedi, but you're in a Sith temple, so all the time the Sith talk about the Jedi, it's the fact that they're weak and that they're nothing. So trust the power of the Jedi. Trust the nothing.
Okay.
Back to darkness. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and you get the added bonus of the Sith being like, "That's right, the answer's the dark side, right, guys?"
Yeah.
Like.
And Cass is just be like, "No, the answer to every problem is a blaster." I repeat my policy every time. The answer to every problem is a blaster.
I did say that you would all hate me, so it's fine.
I say, goddamn Jedi every time as I'm like tapping my way as across. I'm like, can't freaking trust them.
Pretentious bastards.
I'm imagining like you just hearing like in the background like just you're reliving that Alec McGuinness lecture, just like, do not let your hateful emotions guide you, young Hutt. Like,
I just get angry. I get visibly angrier as I'm going across the bridge.
Yeah. Cass is just shaking his head, like muttering to himself. Unbelievable.
This is why I fucking hate Jedi. Like,
yeah. Sith are even worse.
Like, glad they're all dead.
So as you guys kind of, so you're in the kind of the circle, the center of this room now, and you can see beyond, like on the other side of the ring of this circle, a similar sort of light bridge structure connecting to the other, like the far side. But again, so you kind of ringed by these six figures. Some of them shot up a little bit now, as it were. But so as you guys kind of walk like into the stone circle, before you kind of see in the very center sort of life-size holograms, holographs, whatever, begin sort of playing, and you just kind of see these figures kind of carrying out various destructive activities. Like you see a group of three of them sort of sitting there meditating on the forward deck of some ship, and kind of just like before you see an array of like enemy sort of like what you presume to be enemy ships just kind of split in half. You see other ones kind of sending whole armies of figures just sprawling to their knees, like visibly weeping. How much in a Sith temple this is like live footage captured, and how much this is actual like just propaganda, that's up for you guys to decide. But those are the images you are seeing.
Looks like the glory days, Dranlo.
I say, what glory days?
Apparently they had some. Or this was their wishful thinking, I'm not sure. Depends how old this temple is, though. I don't remember. Yeah. Go ahead.
I look around at like at all these holograms. I go, there's no way in hell. I just see, there's no way in hell. The Jedi wouldn't be doing this. It's like it completely goes over my head that like there's like another group of Jedi that like weren't necessarily the light side moralistic pricks that I was used to. So.
Alec McGuinness did not sure as shit looked like he could do this kind of damage.
Yeah.
I kind of mentally make a note. I should have punched that guy harder.
What a dick. That's what he and his friends did? God.
Apparently there's a bunch of Sith on Ryloth.
Yeah, and you do actually kind of see like Bit Larun just like completely kind of, I guess, confused about what he's seeing, like, because as you kind of said, like whole Sith on Ryloth, it's just like, for him, it's just like these, and yeah, from the fact that the statues lack obvious Leku as well, he's like, these are not Twi'leki people. He's like, I don't know what this is. This is.
I'm like, hey kid, did you learn about this in school? When your history book to tell you about Ryloth, the old days of Ryloth.
You just see him just kind of look around, and he's just like, man, they did not cover this shit. Like.
Okay, can we see any other exits out of here?
Yeah,
because Cass is really frustrated with that bridge still, and he's still got an itchy trigger finger with these statues. He just needs to get out of this room. He's gonna start destroying these statues.
Hey man, feel free. It's in your backstory. Like as I kind of said, on the opposite end of the circle, from where you've come in, is a similar light bridge, and you can see like sort of a same sort of stone, and so it kind of reads the same, no matter which side you enter, basically.
So with the butt of the sniper rifle, I'll sling it off my shoulder, and with the butt of the sniper rifle, I'll like tap around in the darkness looking for the solid patch again, just like Dranlo did before with his axe.
Yeah. So I mean, you pretty quickly kind of find your way, and sure enough, manage to pick a path across to the other side.
Oh, thank God! So we can get across that bridge. And I'll turn back and I'll contemplate shooting the ceiling and causing a cave in, but I'll hold back for the sake of the mission.
You'll hold off. How noble of you.
Yeah. Maybe later I'll come back.
I say, Cass, you need some Jawa jerky. Not yourself when you're hungry.
Yeah.
God.
It's been a long time since I had any Corellian whiskey. And I'll say, speaking of which, and I'll reach into my pack, and I'll pull out the bottle of Corellian whiskey that we got from Mala before we lost our ship. Because technically we had that before our ship was taken. So that was on us. So I'll just, like, open that up, take a big swig, and hand the bottle to Dranlo.
I just down the rest of it and, like, hand there, empty bottle to Bit Larun.
I need a drink after that stupid bridge riddle.
You just kind of see like Bit Larun kind of look at the bottle. It's like, oh man, that would have tasted good too. Like just kind of like looking it over, and then you just see him just kind of like toss it behind him, and it kind of clutters out on the darkness, like along the path for a little bit before falling through.
It just sits there in the darkness. Okay, and I'll be
beautiful.
like, oh, feels better, way better. Let's get out of here. So we'll go out the exit.
All right, so you guys kind of pass through sort of similar sort of tunnel work, and so you guys, as you kind of emerge into another small sort of cavern, you see immediately before you, so kind of in the for one, this whole room you can see the entire floor. So it's fine, to as far as your immediate fears. You do, however, see in the middle of the room sort of a small sort of circular structure, and you see a couple of people working around it. And then more than that, you see some figures in Cass you would recognize immediately, Imperial army fatigues, kind of walking around the room. You kind of see on the far side of the room, because it's like directly opposite to you as you come in. There's two branching sort of pathways leading out the room on that side. On one you can see a sort of figure standing near a mounted gunner's turret, and then on the other you can see kind of a figure sort of chatting into the comms. And as you're kind of watching, you see sort of this person move up from inside the like the leftmost tunnel and just kind of grab him by by the mouth and then kind of just stab through the comms gear and sort of like drag him back into the tunnel kind of thing.
Awesome. So the guy who's behind the gun turret, does he look like he's the only actual soldier and the other guys are more like engineering corps? Or do they all look like soldiers?
So the majority of them look like soldiers. It kind of looks like a group of soldiers with sort of like one guy from engineering corps at this point. And I will quickly ask you what you guys are doing because this will be very much time sensitive because people are moving around the room kind of thing.
So did we have any hint that they were there before we just walked into the room? Like would we have heard them or seen them?
You would have probably been cautiously aware. You probably would have heard like the noises of them talking and stuff like that.
Okay, so since Cass was the first one to get out of that room because he hated that bridge room, so he was in the lead. And when he sees that there's people up ahead, he'll like motion Dranlo and Bit to stop, and we'll move back a bit and whisper to Dranlo, just tell what I saw. Tell him what I saw in the room.
Yeah.
And,
all right. I kind of quietly say I think we found Womprat.
Yeah. And I said, well, I can take out the turret with the sniper rifle if you can rush in and take out some of the other guards on the ground level.
All right. I can probably do that.
Okay, and then I'll cover you with my blaster after that.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
I said, okay, so let me get in position, and then when you hear the shot, you rush in on the guards.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. So for this, I will get you to kind of so like the guard's kind of like leaning near the turret. He's kind of leaning up against sort of some barrels and some supplies. So I'll get you to kind of roll the shot as you kind of line it up, and then we'll roll initiative properly.
Okay. All right. So what's the difficulty? 2?
Yes.
Okay. So I just basically kneel down, rested on some rocks, line up the shots with the scope, scope in on the guy behind the turret, and fire.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So what is
anything to do with guns is always a better roll for Cass.
So what's the damage on that?
It is 10 damage.
All right. So you kind of just cleanly
Sorry, I rolled that wrong actually. It's got accuracy 1 too, but that's okay.
Oh, so just roll a boost as well. So just roll me a 1 blue, and then we'll see if that makes a huge difference.
Okay. So what I get here? 2 advantages.
Oh, it does, because it makes it just a 2 success,
awesome.
Which is good for you. So basically, so I'm gonna say that you've killed this guy. Tell me how you've killed him.
Okay, so the shot is actually very it's gonna be quiet. It's gonna be a quiet shot. It's not gonna boom like his blaster. It's just gonna be like a and it goes like right between the eyes of this guy. He was just sitting there chilling. I just had him right there in the crosshairs. He didn't move. I just held my breath, pulled the trigger, and he stayed in the exact same spot. And there was no wind or anything, so it just went right between the eyes, and he just drops. Headshot.
All right.
He just drops without a sound. Back behind the turret.
All right. So can I? All right. I get everyone to roll initiative.
And it's cool.
Yeah. So if you're prepared for it, it's a cool. If you're not, it's a vigilance.
Okay. And difficulty?
It's just a straight roll.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Oh, Cass is in his element now. He's feeling good. He's very relieved to be back in action again.
All right, and then. Sorry, just making roll for all of my people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So so basically, kind of responding to the bedlam. Well, not the bedlam. Responding to, I guess, the comrade being dropped. You see kind of sort of the people that were in this kind of the center of the room, kind of operating around the device. They've kind of noticed that he's kind of like dropped in their peripheral vision, and they just kind of, you see him just kind of turn and just be like, oh, holy shit. So one of them kind of is staying, just kind of like he immediately begins more frantically working on this device, and the other two kind of I guess shift behind some cover that's in the center of the room. Just kind of they don't really have any idea what's going on. You can hear them like yelling frantically, like like get on the comms, like we're under attack. And you hear like one of them say, "Oh shit, where the fuck's like like where's Greg? Where's Greg? He's like Greg's gone." So it's chaos at this point. But from there, Cass, with your sweet roll, you are up next.
All right, so Cass is gonna turn to Dranlo and he's like, "Check this out. I've been practicing this." And then he's gonna whip out his blaster, quick draw his blaster, and he's gonna quick strike one of the guards that hasn't acted yet.
All right. So there's a group of three sort of Imperial army troopers sort of in front of you that were kind of like there's sort of like a low sort of trench, like a little sort of depression that they were kind of like pacing the outer edges of the room in. So you'd definitely they wouldn't be in cover, just be able to surprise them, yeah.
Okay, for sure. So I'm just gonna whip out the blaster and just fire it from the hip like that. And what's the difficulty? 2? Luke, 2 difficulty?
Yeah, yes. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought I said
That's
yes.
good.
That was my bad.
That's good. I just maybe it cut out. Okay, so here we go.
No.
All right.
Ooh, nice.
I'll take it.
What's your damage?
So
what is your damage?
that's a boom. And 6 damage.
That should be a crit anyway, I believe.
And
3
again,
advantage.
I forgot to roll the boost, so hang on. I got one more boost with that too. And no, so that's okay. Yeah.
But I would be shocked if 3 advantage isn't a crit. So
yeah, crit is 3 on that blaster.
there you go. So you kind of side up the nearest Imperial army trooper, and you just kind of shoot him like dead center of the chest, and he kind of drops like really heavily as he's just kind of like rocked by this laser fire.
And then I'll like blow on the blaster, flip it around my fingers, and holster it again, and be like,
oh,
"That's
God.
how it's done." That's what all those hours practicing in front of the mirror did for me.
Yeah,
I like look at you and go, dude, why'd you put your blaster away?
It's okay, because I like to quick draw it.
Yeah, it's not cool unless you quick drawing, right?
Yeah, I can quick draw it every turn. I can put it away and quick draw it every turn.
All right. So from there, Dranlo, it is you.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
I want to put my axe into the back of the guy's head that's trying to work on something. If I can get to him.
You'd probably have to. You'd be like with how far away he is, because he's kind of like in the middle of the room. So kind of closing that gap would take most of your like pretty much your whole turn would be to get to where he is, basically.
All right, and I can't spend strain to get to him. Cool. I'm going to try and get to some rocks then, and I'm going to start. I'm going to run to some rocks, and I'm going to pull out. Like I've got like a little like loot or thing, like a. I don't know. I suppose Dranlo is the kind of guy to have like a foldable loot, and if like I pull that out and start like loudly playing it.
In the middle of a gunfight, you're gonna play music.
I can't do anything else. It's like, okay, so this is me doing a distracting maneuver.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, oh no, sorry, no, that's a maneuver. I can't. Oh yeah, no, I can use my action as that. Cool. So I run up and I start doing that. I'm gonna spend 3 strain to do that. So I'm gonna.
So what does that do?
Adds 1 threat to each. Yeah, or to 3 people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So all right. So kind of before you can see kind of like the groups of Imperial Army officers kind of working around. You see that kind of the engineer figure bent over working on whatever this device is. And you see also sort of like one sort of commanding sort of officer standing beside him. So I guess who do you want to apply this threat to?
Can I apply one each to them all?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic.
So they just start covering their ears like this.
So like I kind of like run up as fast as I can and dive behind a rock and start like belting out Thunderstruck or something. I've got.
Oh god.
You've been Dranlo struck. And they're just like screaming and covering their ears. Awesome.
All right. So the officer kind of standing beside the engineer. You see him kind of just like seeing shit happen. Like 2 of his men are already down. You see him kind of like bark into like a personal communicator, and then like loudly in person, he yells at the group of troopers that kind of you've immediately dropped one of their number. And like he yells at them like to get in cover and and shoot at whatever the hell is making that god awful noise. So they're pretty much gonna just kind of hug some of the rocks that are right next to them, and they're gonna take a shot at you Dranlo.
I regret nothing.
That guitar playing Hutt that's hiding behind the rocks.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh my god.
I'm gonna grab some ice quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, mate. So yeah, they're so in awe of your musical prowess that they shoot into the rocks that you're hiding behind. However, they manage to put some sort of suppressive fire at you, so your next setbacks will obviously suffer a negative modifier. The officer, meanwhile, kind of seeing that one of his opposing sort of enemies surprisingly distracted, he's gonna line up against the Nautilin sharpshooter and just take a shot at his opponent. Because that's what you do when someone steps away from the table. Ooh, okay. So he doesn't actually hit Cass, but Cass can totally take some 2 setbacks when he comes back, which is fine.
Cool.
So then while this is also going on, so the minion group kind of I guess opposite from you guys, who Cass originally dropped the gunner who was part of. You see them. You see one of them kind of like rush to where Steve the gunner was. You check the name tags afterwards. I'm telling you, he'll be Steve. And so kind of like hook himself up into this turret system, and just spin towards you, Dranlo.
Oh god.
To lay down some fire. So I actually need to look this up. Here we go. Oh, this is gonna be. Boys. Yeah, this could be fun. This could be fun. All right. Nah, it's fine. You be fine. You be fine. But I will actually. I'll flip a.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's fine.
So I'm gonna make it 1 and 1. All right.
All right. Am I jumping behind cover here, or?
Oh, that's fine. Your cover has in fact saved you.
All right.
So this guy on this heavy repeating blaster is just like laying down the fire, just like slamming into the cover. And I'm gonna say that you're just kind of like ducking behind cover, and your portable loot has just been rent asunder by this arc of fire. And so yes, you're gonna have you're pretty much pinned down, so you're gonna have definitely another setback on your next check.
It's like Damn it, my stolen loot. It's like, I stole this fair and square and they've destroyed it on me.
Oh, it's broken?
It's broken now.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, so what you just missed is so someone else has gone and hooked themselves up in the gunner's seat, and they're just firing at Dranlo, and they managed to take out his portable loot. The commanding officer also took a shot at you. He didn't hit you, but you're gonna have 2 setback on your next check to kind of reflect. Like he just missed you, kind of thing.
Damn.
In the meantime, as this is all going on, you guys are like, holy shit. You kind of hear from the other side of the room, like, just like, tadpole, fat worm. And he's just like, don't worry. And then so pretty much.
Don't worry. Okay. All right.
Thanks,
Wombat.
So you see this kind of figure just basically just slinking through the shadows, kind of get closer to one of the minions around the gunner's turret, and he just pretty much just takes a shot. Oh, man.
Where were you when we needed you back at that bridge?
The dice are just rolling terribly for everyone tonight. So yeah, he just puts he manages to just kind of graze the knee, as it were, of one of these guys. And you can just see him just audibly, everyone in the room just hears this fucking shit. Like and at this point, Bit Larun's kind of hugging the rock beside you, and you see him kind of lean in and just be like, so you never gave me my blaster back.
And Dranlo's got it. You can go join it behind the rocks if you want.
He's just like, I'm gonna wait it out.
Good
you
call,
guys
kid.
told me to not leave cover.
That's right. Good to see the training's paying off now.
Yeah. All right. So the minions kind of before you, Cass, they're pretty much they've kind of hunkered themselves up a little bit, and so they're gonna direct some attention your way.
Bring it. Cass is in the zone.
Cass is in the zone. Oh man, Cass is in the zone. They miss you completely, and one of them exposes himself a little bit. So he's kind of in a bad spot. And Cass, it is your turn.
Awesome. So I've got 2 setback dice, right?
Yes.
For the commander that was shooting at me.
Yes.
And there's still that guy behind the gun turret, right? He's been grazed in the knee, but he can still operate that turret.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna line up another shot on that turret, because last thing I want is turret fire coming down on us.
Alrighty.
So let's see if we can do that. So it's gonna be 2 purple and 2 black. Man. Okay, here we go.
This is cruelty.
What's going on with the dice roller? Okay, so I missed. I shot at the turret guy, but I missed. He ducked back, I think, because he was grazing the knee. So he was kneeling down after that when his knee kind of collapsed.
It threw your shot off, right? Like you were lining it up, and then Womprat's just like, "Yeah, I got this," and kind of threw the whole thing off for you.
Yeah, like he was harder to hit because he's kneeling back behind the turret, so it's harder for me to find the shot. And he's moving around like screaming about his knee. So I missed.
Exactly. All right, Dranlo, it is your turn at this juncture.
All right, I have it in for the guy that's trying to work on his thing. So I am going to run over there, and I am going to try and I'm going to like run out under fire with everything flying over my head, and like get my vibro axe and just try to cleave that guy in half because I don't know what he's up to.
All right, make this happen for me. Let's.
Alright.
So it'd be just a engage check, which should just be 2.
Do I get the setbacks or?
So yeah, you can take 1 setback to kind of reflect as you're like running under fire.
Alright.
But he's kind of got he's working on his whatever this device is, so you can have a boost for the fact that he's kind of caught unawares, as it were.
Alright, awesome. Alright, okay, I don't hit him, but I'm gonna use that advantage to like completely destroy whatever he's using to work on it. I miss him, but I get his tools. Like I completely destroy whatever he's using to work on this.
All right.
Or the thing itself.
Yeah. So I mean, do you just kind of cleave the thing in front of him, or does his tools as well, or?
Yeah. I want the tools to be cleaved. I want the thing to be intact.
Okay.
I want his tool to be cleaved, and I want him to like be thrown prone.
All right, I'll take it as he's kind of knocked to his knee, and you just kind of hear this guy like you shout with surprise, and then immediately just like oh shit. Can I get both of you to make me a coordination check just right now?
All right.
This doesn't sound good.
Hard, difficult.
Oh no.
Hard. Okay.
Oh yes.
Wow. Okay, I'll take that.
All right.
Finally.
All right. And now I gotta make a series of hilarious rolls that this will be.
Something's gonna go boom.
This is Womprat.
Okay. Screw you, Womprat.
Womprat's not having a great evening.
Womprat's not gonna make it out of this cavern alive.
Oh my god! So that's the minion group around the turret. This is the other minion. This is the army officers, the army group in front of you. And then this is the army officer himself. So basically, all of you at this point, so at the point where the tools are severed from this device as they're kind of like shorted and just cleaved in twain, you all kind of see this device just begin pulsing blue energy, just like big spheres of it around the room. And it's kind of at this point that you notice that ringing the room are these sort of 6 sort of small kind of squat pylons. They're metal, and they'd only be about like a waist height. But you see this energy kind of like collecting in these pylons, and so after like the first pulse, you all begin really just honestly floating. Like there's a distinct lack of gravity as you are pulled from the floor of this cave.
So I just have one question. Are we going to travel back to 1984?
No.
Should we take all the metal off of our bodies?
Although that would make
it's not that kind of flying blue light. Okay. So we're all floating. Everyone's floating?
I think we've lost Luke. I know.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. No, you are not traveling back in time, is the short summary.
Okay.
B, I gotta be that guy. It wouldn't be back in time. Come on, Star Wars is a long, far, far away, long time ago.
Forward in time to 1984.
Yeah, there you go. But no, you're not going forward in time. You are, however, kind of floating in the air in 0 gravity as this thing kind of pulses. So in the meantime, so the kind of you see these army troopers kind of almost sort of yakety saxian, as it were, kind of like flailing their arms around. Complete lack of discipline. But the Imperial army officer kind of like as he floats up after the initial kind of shock, you see him just kind of like raise his gun up towards you, Cass. Now that you're kind of freed from the cover. Yeah.
Everyone's free from cover. So Cass.
Yeah, well, that's right. That one cuts both ways.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
Flat wash.
Flat wash. Just just fires to your
Awesome.
left.
Cass is like, that's the best you can do.
Yeah, you just start shit talking.
Yeah.
So the other sort of army troopers, you see one of them kind of, one of them's kind of like hanging there, awkwardly attached to this gun turret that's kind of now floating in the air, because like around you there is sort of also like, so anything that wasn't really sort of part of the cabin structure is now floating like sort of loppily around the room. So you see him trying to sort of like vaguely like spin this gun turret around towards his original target, Dranlo. But of course, flying around in the air is going to be an interesting prospect. So we'll see how this goes. It goes fine, apparently, which is terrible, terrible news for you, Dranlo, because that is 11 damage with one pierce. So,
all right. Damn it! I should have activated my dodge spell.
Dodge and 0G.
Oh well, that's okay. I have to do that before the roll. So, okay. How much is it?
11 damage with one of that. So like ignoring one of your soak.
All right. So what's that? 8. It's still good. It's still good.
It's still good.
Just a little shot. It's still good. It's still good.
Is there slimy Hutt blood spraying around in 0G?
Yeah.
So you see, at this point you see Womprat kind of, so he was a bit closer to the cabin sort of walls. So you see him kind of just like say, screw this, and just like push off the wall, straight towards the engineer that you were kind of like assaulted the tools of, and he's just got this vibro knife, drawn. And so he's just going to try and take this guy out. Oh, jeez. so he just like,
wow.
So he just comes flying through, like, so he pretty much just missiles off the side of the cabin, and like his vibro knife, like a lance, he just kind of tears through the engineer. And, as he kind of flies past you, Dranlo, I'm imagining he just kind of gives you the look in the eye like, nice, going for the engineer. Smart move. I like you already.
Thanks for the assist, Wombat.
It's like, we had this.
Yeah, can you maybe do something about the turret? I don't know.
But yes, so from there, it is Cass's turn.
All right. Is the turret in range of my light blaster? Or is it far?
That should be medium range. That should be you should be all right. Because it's kind of floated in a bit towards the middle. It's kind of drawn towards the object. Like you've all kind of been sort of floating inward a little bit.
Yeah, so Cass has got the sniper rifle in his left hand. With his right hand, he's going to quick draw his blaster again and just seeing Dranlo just get smoked by this turret fire. Yeah, Cass is not going to have any more of that. So he's pretty pissed, and he's definitely going to boom some action on that turret. So that's 2 purples, or do we have something different because of the 0G?
No, so it'll be 2 purple. On your coordination check, you're not going to suffer any setback. So you will in fact get a boost because he's basically just literally floating around in the air at this point.
Holding the turret.
Yeah, you can see him kind of like trying to hang on to this thing like bodily, like, and keep it online, and that's why it was meant to be so tough for him to hit. But I mean, he's a god, so what are you going to do?
Yeah. So alright, so Cass is going to whip out the blaster, line it up, and boom. There we go. So that's
all right,
6
nice.
damage. 6 damage for Mr. Turret. Dickhead. See how you like being shot.
I thought the light blaster did more base damage than that. Or is it 6 base? So it'd be 7 after the...
Yeah.
No, I know, that's only for each extra one. Alright.
Yeah.
So yeah, you pretty much, you kind of like shred just fire straight into one of his arms and kind of clip him off. And you see him. I'm gonna say this is what your advantage is because I think this would probably be the best kind of go of it.
Sure.
You see him just kind of like lose grip on the turret and kind of spin out. So he's still he's still alive, and you see him start reaching for like his weapon, but he's kind of thrown off the turret because of the recoil of the blaster shot.
Yeah, that's totally what I would have suggested too. Is that I knock him away from the turret in 0G, so he's just spinning back away from the turret.
Yeah. Awesome.
Perfect. And then spin it around and holster it again. Every time.
So all right. So at this point, so like the minions, the army troopers that were kind of the one that was around the turret, he's gonna try and kind of right himself and draw his gun, but he won't really have time to shoot. He's kind of he's been sent flying, and so his buddy's gonna basically try and get up to behind some of the floating detritus, and then Dranlo, it is your turn.
All right. Am I close enough to anyone to like put my axe into them?
Not 100%. So you'd have to sort of like swim your way, I guess. So basically, it's basically considered like sort of difficult terrain. So it takes like double the movement normally.
Right.
Push off with your tail.
Yeah, shake that little tail, Phil.
Yeah.
All right. What else do I have on me? All right.
Frag grenade.
All right. I don't have any frag grenades, unfortunately.
Yeah, you have like 3 frag grenades from the scout troopers.
You picked up some from the scout troopers last time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we picked those up.
Probably not a good idea if I even get to use them. I get one.
Dranlo know that.
Dranlo's very prudent today. It's unusual.
True. Okay, you're right. He is very rash. All right. I am lobbing one of these grenades at someone. Actually, no. I'm going to... just because I think it would be hilarious, can we use one of those dark side points to upgrade it to a red?
Okay. I'm always okay with that. So
you want to make the frag grenades harder?
All right. What was the base diff would be?
So it would just be a 2, and it's range light.
Excellent. All right. And so I'm gonna. Can I aim, or have I used my maneuver already?
No. That's fine. If you're just floating around, if you haven't moved, yeah, you can aim.
All right. All right. I'm just gonna lob a grenade at the nearest trooper.
Alright, so I'm going to say that it's like lobbed at the 2 sort of, oh geez, sweet Jesus.
Oh man.
I missed him, but...
But you have 2 advantages.
It's a button. So you've sent this rippling explosion in a 0G environment. So like, I mean, what's it done? Talk to me here.
Alright, I think it's thrown them. It's like thrown them off, like way away from me. It's like pushed them.
Alright, that's fine.
Push them over.
And closer to me.
So the 2 minions... Yeah,
closer to me.
So I'm imagining that you overshot it, right? Like you're in 0 gravity, and you just kind of like, oh yeah, like this ought to be right, and it's just gone sailing behind the two troopers that were near the gun, and it's blown up, and it's like completely not hurt them at all. But yeah, the pressure wave of it just sends them flying like across, and so one of them sort of comes closer to you, ends up closer to you, and one kind of ends up closer to Cass. And kind of like they're both kind of spinning wildly as they're doing it.
Sounds
frag grenades for the win.
So at this point, the officer is gonna, he's floating, and so he looks to his other group of squad, like I guess his squad, the ones closest to Cass, and he's just like, shoot him! Shoot the goddamn bug-eyed freak!
I'm not a freak. What are you talking about? And I'll let the bug-eyed part pass.
Who do you call him freak?
Yeah, my code name's Tadpole, man.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh.
So you take 11 damage as well as they just line up these heavy blaster these blaster rifles. And I mean you're not really in cover anymore, and so they just but I'm gonna say that the recoil in a 0G environment, they didn't really steady themselves. They were just like, they've heard shoot the bug-eyed freak. They're like, all right, right away. So it's kind of throwing them off, and it'll give them 2 setback on their next check.
Okay, I've got a defense of 1. So is that some kind of setback or something?
Actually, no. Well, actually, yes, technically. So I think that makes the. Oh god, I did this a long time ago. Defense.
It adds a setback.
It makes it harder for them to hit me, right?
I think it's an automatic setback, is it not?
It's a setback die.
It's
a setback die on the attack roll.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So I'll just roll 1 black, see what happens.
Failure.
Nothing happened.
Nothing.
So super useful there.
Okay, so what was the damage again?
11. So, but obviously take away your soak.
Yep.
Oh, that's painful.
Ouch. That's just one guy shot me for that much?
No, that was a group of them. That was like,
there's 2 minions.
Although, yeah, that was the army troopers under direction of the officer. Seeing this successful firing range that his troop has established, however, he raises his blaster pistol to say, "This is how you finish the job, men." And so again, he's firing straight at you,
Yep. Cass is hurting. He took that blaster fire in the gut.
Oh my god! Oh shit!
I might be rolling up a new character for next session.
Holy crap!
No, it's really hard to kill characters in this.
Not really. It doesn't look like it.
Never say never, my friend. Never say never.
It's possible.
It's possible right now. So.
Okay. So you take.
What happens is you faint, then you take a crit.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you take. So at this point, you take another 9 damage.
Okay.
And then we're gonna play the fun game of let's roll on the injury table, the critical injury table.
Did they have that setback still, right, from the defense?
So that was on the troopers.
Okay.
But they did have 1 setback. He did from the you kind of got pushed into a different position from copping 1 to the gut.
Yeah.
Probably not as.
This one I take this one in the left shoulder.
All right. Do you want me to roll? I'm just gonna roll. It feels wrong. Do you want to? If you can bring it up through like roll 20.
Percentage, right?
D100 roll.
There's a percentage right here in the edge roll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, roll that
Beautiful.
one.
Okay. 14%.
Fine. So, man, you're gonna love this. So 14 is so you're shot in your shoulder and you're just jolted by it, and your blaster pistol just goes flying from your hand off into the 0G environment.
Oh, can I say my sniper rifle goes flying off into the 0G environment?
Sorry, what was that?
Can I say my sniper rifle goes off into the 0G, the one I'm holding in my left hand?
No, it drops whatever is in hand. So technically, it would be both your weapons just go flying.
Okay, well that's good because I did the thing where I holstered my gun after every shot.
You did.
So.
You did. You crazy bastard. It actually paid off. You crazy bastard.
Cass knows guns. Alright, so my sniper rifle goes spinning off into 0G, and I get flipped back around from the shot. So I'm like spinning. I'm spinning as well from the 2 shots. Cass is hurt.
Yeah. So at this point, having seen, just like holy shit, you kind of hear from Bit Larun, and then you kind of hear like Womprat just be like, "Don't worry, young man, they will be fine. I'm a trained professional."
Fuck you, Wombat! Why don't you do something useful and kill these guys?
So you see him just kind of like look at you, Dranlo, and then he's just kind of like apologies for this as he kind of pushes off you towards the one of the troopers in front of Cass. And again, he's going to be trying the same trick with the vibro knife.
There
Um,
we go.
Yeah, and he just, he's like, this is for Tadpole, and he just comes in and just like guts one of them.
Nice.
All
Tadpole
right.
approves.
At this point, can I get everyone to make a coordination check?
Oh dear God.
Probably don't have much coordination right now.
All right. What difficulty?
3 again.
Oh dear God, I'm not going to survive this.
Man,
Oh,
I'm just really glad we're not fighting the Sith, man. If just like a group of guards can mess us up this bad. I hate to see what a Sith can do.
Oh, we've just been rolling crap.
Okay, there's some more
now I
crap
need to
rolling.
Now I need to make a crap load of rolls. All right, minion group that is now not on the turret. All right, minion group that just got soundly wrecked is down to 1 guy. That 1 guy's doing great. The army officer is doing fine, and Womprat is doing less fine. It's doing really. So at this point, you all like so there's like this whole time kind of the pulses have been increasing. And you've all kind of been floating a little bit towards the device. At this point, you all just kind of like there's a kind of a burst pulse, like it's a bit thicker, and you all just hit the ground quite hard. The pair of you, because it's fine, you scored an advantage or a success, which was my mod, like kind of my DC as it were. You managed to kind of just like have the wind knocked out of your view a little bit.
Cass is pretty get back up again.
Yeah, the army officer and so the minion group that's kind of closest, the troopers that are closest to the gun turret managed to kind of like avoid injury. The guy that was just by himself, who was part of that 3-man squad of troopers who just has been annihilated across this fight. His problems continue, and you hear an audible crack as his arm kind of breaks on one of the rocks, and then all you hear from Womprat is just, "Oh God damn it!" And you just see that his whole like kind of left side is just torn up from these jagged rocks where he's gotten injured, and he's just like, "Seriously, can we just get the fuck out of this place?"
We can hurry up and kill these guys.
But from there, Cass, it is your turn.
Alright. I really want to shoot the guys that shot me. So I'm not sure where they are right now. Is there any of them that are nearby? How about that commander? I'd like to shoot the commander. Cass likes
so he's
to
kind of
do that.
He's kind of he would be like he'd be pretty close by, like, so having been pulled sort of towards the device, you guys would be within short range now, and he's kind of sprawled out a little bit, kind of like on his haunches besides the device with his gun up, but he's he's not in super good cover at this point.
Okay, so Cass is gonna stand up slowly, and he's gonna be pretty wobbly on his feet, and his left arm's pretty much just hanging there useless, and he's just leaning up against the wall of the cavern, and he's just gonna whip out his blaster and just fire it from the hip at this commander guy.
All right, because you're close range, it's just 1 purple, and he's not in great cover, and he's not really out of cover either, so it's just no setback, no boost, so just straight roll. 1 purple.
Alright, so you're just gonna line this guy up and boom. Yeah! Take that.
Oh my God!
There is no officer.
So
what's the oh my God. So that's alright.
6 space damage plus
11. So that's 11. Oh my God.
11.
That's 12.
Oh, 12.
11.
Yeah, indeed.
That's how you finish the job. And then
all right. So I'm gonna say he's not dead, and you got 1 advantage. I'm just gonna say you kind of like knock him off his feet with this sort of gigantic blast.
Can I knock his weapon out of his hand too?
Sure, actually, yeah. You can kind of send him sprawling a little bit.
Yeah.
and then you kind of hear like a splutter as he kind of coughs up some blood, and you just kind of like see him just like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you for that," kind of like mutter under his breath.
Yeah, we'll see.
But from there, it is Dranlo's turn.
All right. I want to go up to the closest trooper, whoever. So there's one of them left, isn't there?
So there's one of them kind of closer to Cass, so kind of still on that the side of the room that you guys came in. There's two kind of closer to where the gun turret was on the other side of the room, but the gun turret's kind of like not set up anymore. It's kind of smashed on the ground.
Right.
And then there's the officer kind of besides the device sort of thing.
All right. I'm just going to run over to the closest one and just go to town on him. All right. So just melee check.
Yes.
Cool.
Nice.
Yes.
5 racks time.
Oh,
Damn it. All right, I got the triumph.
You
So
really-
what am I gonna do with that?
no, yeah, you realize it's still a success because the triumph on its own is still a success as well.
It's cancelled it out. I've got one success, the triumph, and then a double.
We go
failure.
over this every time. No, it's fine. You're fine. You have what you have left over is a triumph, which is also a success. And
Yeah,
an
no.
advantage.
No, I'll tell you exactly what symbols I have. It's a success, an advantage, a triumph, and then a double failure. So it's like washed out completely.
The one I'm looking at. Says
The thing's wrong. The thing's wrong.
that's frustrating because I'm like,
it's
oh man, he's done fantastically well.
It's cancelled it out, but I've got the triumph. Can I hit the device again?
Yes, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
All right, so I'm gonna say like I swing at them and they dodge, and I just accidentally keep going and smack the device.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh man. Does that turn the 0G back on?
No, the device doesn't break. Also, 100%. That is so annoying because I'm sitting here and I'm like, he's rolled fantastically well. I don't know what he's complaining about.
Yeah.
So
I only
apologies.
see the result too. I don't see what the actual die rolls are.
Yeah. Apologies on that. So yeah, you slam this thing. You triumph. Now I'm gonna say you chose that as your specific one. That's fine. Can I get everyone to make a brawn check, like a straight brawn.
All right.
Brawn or
What
athletics?
difficulty? What difficulty?
3 again.
Wow.
Yes, but if you have athletics, feel free to use that in place of brawn.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna use my natural athlete check again, like that talent that I picked up, so I can re-roll this.
Cass is pretty fit. He's a pretty fit, ripped dude, so he was okay with that.
Oh, that's better.
But I have a threat, so I'm not sure what that's going to be.
All right, so it's fine. So this time you see the device kind of like see kind of like a ball of energy kind of like charge up after having been impacted by this axe. I'm gonna say you kind of connected around the exposed part where the guy was working, but you didn't destroy the device, which is one kind of confusing because it suggests that it's made quite well from solid materials. But so it charges up this pulse, and then this pulse just kind of just shoots out, not as like a sphere, but basically just like as a horizontal, like sort of flat sort of circle. And you all, okay, so let's see how you guys did. So Cass, you were fine. Dranlo, after your natural athletics kicked in, you were fine. But basically what you feel though is just this immense tug of gravity. Like you like everything suddenly feels incredibly heavy, and you see beside you, Dranlo, that army officer who kind of ducked out of the way. You see him just kind of sprawled face down and just trying to lift up his arms, and he just can't. Like each time, it's just kind of like almost magnetically pulled back to the floor. Similarly, Cass, the one trooper from that kind of group that got hurtled towards you, he's in a similar sort of state. And you see Womprat though, he's kind of like on his haunches beside one of the other Imperial army troopers. And he's kind of like flicking the knife around a bit slowly than I guess his agility suggests. And he's just sort of standing beside one. He's like, "See, this is why you don't skip the gym." Like kind of looking towards one of the army troopers. So the officer on his turn, he's basically just going to use his entire turn to kind of stand up and try and retrieve his weapon, because that's really all he has the strength to do. Similar for the minions. Womprat, who's beside one of the minions, however, is kind of like, pushing the boot into the back of this minion that's kind of sprawled out before him, and he's basically just going to try and deliver a coup de grace.
Execution.
Yeah. So, just see how that goes. Yes. So he just basically just stabs this poor fellow, and just kind of quickly, cleanly, and professionally just kind of guts the guy. And from there, it is back to Cass, who is, despite all his wounds and his problems, is somehow still kicking.
Yeah, he's hanging on with that one hit point. So he's still leaning against the wall, and the heavy gravity's pressing down on him, and his knees like almost buckle, but he's still just standing up, and he's got to focus his bloodshot eyes on this enemy commander that's scrambling for his weapon, and he says, "No, you don't," and he just whips out his blaster, and boom, gonna take this guy out again. Two purple.
Are you gonna use it? Yeah, or you just be one because again he's close range. Are you going to use a destiny point to bump yourself to really ensure this? That would be my question.
Do it.
No, you think so? You think we need to?
Do it. If we get like a triple triumph, that would be amazing.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we smoked this guy, but okay, if you think so.
Yeah. Just because we might get the triumph, so it would be good.
Okay, so I flipped it, so that gives me what? I can upgrade a green to a yellow?
Yeah. Yes, or you can add an extra green if you'd like, or get rid of a purple. I mean, but it stays at 1, so you can't really do that.
I'll take the extra yellow. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to blow this guy's head off. Here we go. Yep, that'll do it.
Oh my god. So describe to me your gangland execution of this army officer.
So he's scrambling around on the ground, and he reaches for his gun, and he turns around to shoot at me like with this big grin, like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you now," and that's when his head explodes into red mist. And the red mist does not stay as mist in the air because of the heavy gravity. It just goes right down. It becomes puddles of blood on the ground.
Oh god.
Yeah, and then Cass goes, "Job is finished," and then holsters his gun.
See, and you just see kind of Womprat like kind of look between the two army troopers that are still left, and he's like, I mean, I hate to be the technical guy, but like kind of like indicating like towards you. He's like, maybe kill these guys.
Yeah, they're next. Don't worry.
But from there, Dranlo.
Keep trying to make yourself useful, Wombat.
All right, can I get to those last guys, or are they too far away?
No, you can. You can. So you can kind of struggle again because you guys made that brawn check, and also like the longer it goes on, it kind of weakens, right? So it's kind of that initial pulse is the strongest part of this surge. You would be able to reach one of them.
All right. How banged up is he looking?
So this is the remaining guy from the people that were congregating around the turret. So you guys polished off one, and then Womprat polished off another. This is the last guy of that sort of coterie, and yeah, he's pretty banged up. So this was the guy that this was the guy who's kind of he managed to steady himself, but the fight has not been good for the Imperial army. So. It's not 100%.
Did we do anything for that triumph?
Oh, I mean, the death. The assurance of death was my assumption. What can you think of anything?
Since we took out their leader, I'd like to suggest that the other guys are completely demoralized at this point.
All right, no, that's fair enough.
You can implement whatever effect you think is appropriate for that.
No, that's perfect. So Dranlo, feel free to add 2 boosts to this, because this guy, yeah, as Cass has suggested, they've just gone lost all morale. These guys are not hardened stormtroopers. Their morale is not as good.
All right.
Yeah. He was rallying them before, but now he's become Red Mist. Nice.
All right. I'm not gonna ask for damage because I know your damage is quite high. How do you polish off this demoralized army trooper?
I think he's like I think he sees me coming and he just can't. The gravity is just too much for him, and I just get this really big shit-eating smirk as I just like drive my axe into his back, like Groundskeeper Willie in that Halloween special. So I just like ride my axe into his back and like pull it out like yes.
Damn. It's completely what Womprat says as he kind of struggles his way over to the last guy.
There you go, Womprat.
Before equally, like you can kind of see him like watching you, like he's walked over and he watches you as you do this. And he's just like, damn, that's cold-hearted, man. As he like just garrots, like just runs the blade across the last guy's neck, and just kind of like tosses the body to the side.
And Cass is
never
just
said he
gonna
wasn't a
just
hypocrite.
collapse and sit down with his back against the wall at this point.
I kind of like reach into my knapsack and like throw Cass a stim pack.
Oh, nice. So Cass is just gonna bite it off and just jab it in and pump the stim in. So that gives me 5.
Yeah, give me 5.
It's 6 on the first one, isn't it?
Yeah, you're fine.
Nice. Okay. Then I'll get back up and join the others.
All right. So you see, kind of like Womprat kind of like look you two over, just like well, I'm kind of impressed that you guys made it this far. And then you see him kind of like turn and look towards Bit Larun. He's like, this a kid we escorting?
Yeah, this is the hacker kid that stole our ship.
I
needs
like
access to a terminal.
I do like the friendly smack on the back, but it's a little too hard, and he kind of like stumbles forward.
and you see him. He's just like, yeah, nice to meet you too, fat worm. And he just pretty much just straight up just like punches you in the arm, like just punches. Not a light like little
But
thing.
then his fist just disappears into the folds of Dranlo's skin, comes back out covered in slime.
He's unfazed. He's got gloves on. It's fine.
He's totally used to it now.
All right.
You're Womprat, I presume.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, they told me you were the smart one out of these two.
I've got like this really zoned out look on my face at this point.
So Cass's hand is moving back to his blaster again. He's like, I haven't had a very good day, so watch your tongue.
I'm gonna wait until he's like looking at Cass, and I'm gonna kind of like make for the friendly like kind of touch on the back, but I'm gonna slip the little transmitter thing we have into his back pocket.
Nice.
Or I'm gonna try and slip it somewhere where we can set it off.
All right, that's fine. You can give me like I guess a stealth. No, skullduggery. Give me a skullduggery.
I can do skullduggery. All right.
And you.
If anybody can, you can, Dranlo.
What difficulty?
So 1 purple, 1 red.
All right. Can I spend this last destiny point?
Yeah.
You can.
You
always can.
I want him to have that too.
All right. Oh yes.
All right.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm imagining while you guys are having your friendly back slap, arm punch, suck into worm body. You manage to kind of just like slip this thing into kind of like his side pocket or his back pocket or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Just the slime sticks it to him directly.
Yeah, that's it. So kind of from now, like kind of like he's like, all right, now that we've got like the friendly chit chat out of the way, he kind of points to like the right hand tunnel, so where the gun turret had been set up. and he's just like the overlooking room, the one with all the computer gear should be through here. If we can get in there, we should be all right. The hacker boy here should be able to sort us out.
All right, I want to check out some gear first, see if there's anything useful on these corpses. So basically, Cass wants to search the dead guards and the commander in particular, and see if there's anything useful that he can acquire.
Yeah. So you can kind of see, so among some things, you can see that so some of the troopers do have frag grenades, which is, I guess, always useful. So there'd be 3 of those sort of between the bodies, but the officer kind of besides I guess his neck, what remains of his neck, and kind of covered in gore and viscera, you actually find a long-range comlink. So what that means to you, whether you want to. All right.
I'm gonna make sure it's disabled and silent though.
Have we got it? All right. I go searching for like stim packs or something.
Yeah. So I'm presuming, considering it was your first target, that you would probably go see straight off the bat. You kind of find tucked into his webbing.
Just the one, sorry?
No, I cut out? Okay. So basically I said, so considering it was your first target, I'm going to presume that you went towards the engineer to check out first.
Yeah.
So yeah, amongst his kind of like combat webbing, you do find 2 stim packs kind of strapped to his gear.
Cool. All right.
So Cass will say, "I'll trade you a frag grenade for a stim pack."
I kind of like look in my my knapsack and I'm gonna go. I've already got 2 frag grenades, and you saw what I did just then.
That was good. See what you can do with a couple more.
I like toss you one of the. I just kind of like toss you one of the stim packs and walk away without taking the frag grenades.
Okay.
You just kind of see Womprat just kind of like look at the the 2 of you, just like this big grin, and he's like, "Oh, that's lovely. You don't really see many interspecies couples these days." He's like, "You ladies done? Let's go."
Can I shoot him? I turned to Dranlo. I'm like, "Can we shoot him? Do we still need him?"
I'm like, "Shh." I'm like, "Watch this," and I like very purposefully take off my glove, and like I kind of like sit there stroking Womprat's hair, and I go, "You can join in if you want."
Face palm him with slime.
Oh, okay. You see him just kind of just like slick his hair back with the slime. He's like, yeah, whatever. I've had worse than this. He's like, not by much. I'll give you that. Not by much. But I've had worse.
I kind of like put the glove back on and shrug at Cass and just keep following him.
Yeah, I just told Dranlo, I'm like, don't worry, he'll get his later.
Yeah. All right.
Let's stick to the plan.
All right. So you guys kind of, I presume, like you guys kind of go down the right sort of tunnel. So eventually you kind of come to sort of like a sort of sealed door. At which point Bit Larun's gonna just probably take over for a couple of seconds and kind of hack open the door. I'm presuming like Cass and Womprat are like either side of the door, like guns ready, things serious, and like as soon as the door opens, you kind of like that kind of breach and clear. But you don't. There's no one actually inside the control room, which is really lucky.
He doesn't need to have his gun out ready. He can just quick draw his gun anytime. So he's just standing there looking cool, letting the soldier go ahead.
Looking dangerous. All right, I love it. But so, I mean, it's fine because it means you didn't have to draw your gun, because there isn't actually anyone really inside. There was sort of like a droid, but Womprat quickly kind of shoots this droid before it can raise any sort of alarm. This kind of like small sort of room is just kind of like there's just layers of computer banks all around, and then just at the front there's these large sort of like plexiglass, I want to say, sort of windows overlooking the main cavern from the other side. And then so, I'm presuming the 3 of you kind of immediately sort of turn to Bit Larun, like, all right, boy, like, go on, go do what you're here for.
Yep, do your business.
Yep.
So you're gonna see him like kind of like at the computer terminal working for probably a couple of minutes before he kind of like turns back to you like guys and gives the nod like, all right, like send the word, they should be ready.
I kind of nudge Cass and I go, we're in an Imperial control room. The computer banks are right behind us. Do you reckon they have anything of value sitting on them?
Yeah, so I'm gonna just nod and say absolutely. Let's turn to Bit and say, Bit, what else can you get from those computers for us?
And he's all right, like no worries, like I'll see what I can pull, right? And he kind of says that like a bit hushed, right? He's picked up that he needs to be a bit smarter about the things that he says aloud. So basically, while he's doing this, though, you're gonna see kind of Womprat sort of closer to like kind of pull up beside Bit. So Bit's kind of like at the front of the front kind of computer banks closest to the windows. You're gonna see Womprat kind of point out across to where you guys were originally. And you'll see kind of like on that overlook, you'll see kind of like this sort of team of troopers in sort of different sort of gear, sort of a bit more like ragtag sort of slapped together, but all pretty professional looking in terms of like the serious capabilities of it emerge on the other side. And so like yeah, you see him just kind of like like look to you, Cass, like there they are right on time. And then so you see him kind of like trail off like a couple of ropes and begin like just slide down into the cavern sort of floor.
Cool.
Two people stay up watch on the overtop, and you see him start picking off a couple of the stormtroopers where they can with like really sort of heavy duty sniper rifles. So now while this is unfolding, Bit Larun's going to be like rifling around in the computer bay. So yeah, Bit Larun just says like, oh yeah, like guys, I think I got some information I can pull. At which point, all of the lights that are like the industrial lights that are flooding the cavern before you guys are just gonna cut, and like the room is just plunged into darkness, like the big cavern, like, and you guys are only lit up from the screens, the kind of the glow off the computers in front of you. And part of the room, like the whole sort of cavern structure, just begins shaking, and he's like, "That I had nothing to do with that. I just want that on record, 100%." And then you just see
you're awesome at computers, Bit.
and you just see Womprat just kind of looking like very concerned, like shit, like this was not meant to happen. He's like, Bit, like what did you do? He's like, no, I'm serious. I actually did not do that. I don't know what's going on. You see him kind of like frantically kind of like working at the computers. He's like, I don't even know how all those cut out at once. Like there should be sort of, sort of individual units, those lights. At this point, you kind of see some of the lights start to flicker back on. And you can just see like, just all of these figures just kind of splayed out. Like, so where before they were kind of off in their own positions and like the rebel team was kind of moving up, they're all kind of clustered around the front of this temple, and then emerging from it is the figure you saw earlier, Cass. And so now, Dranlo, you're getting a good look at it good look at this person for the first time, and they're just kind of head to toe, just in this kind of metal body armor with sort of Kevlar in between, and they just have these like bright yellow eyes kind of from the face helmet. And you can see them holding this device of some kind, so it's kind of like a handheld sort of unit, and he's just kind of, you can see him just kind of like locking it to like the front of his metal chest plate, and this thing is just glowing sort of like a noxious sort of purple that is releasing off sort of black clouds, and you just begin hearing really loudly just this audible sort of laughing, like ha 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 ha, and then you see Womprat just be like, holy shit. And you just see him like on the comms, like guys, get out of there. Like, why are you just standing there? Because this whole team of troopers are just standing in front of this temple, not doing anything. And you see this black energy sort of like just rifle out, and just basically you see these troopers just begin screaming and like clawing at their eyes and things like that. And Womprat turns back to you and he's just like, "We need to go now." At which point you hear the really, really loud. And I'm gonna flip a Destiny point or two for this.
Oh, no.
You hear the really loud modem sound become screeching from his
damn it.
the back of his pants leg. And this figure, he's just looking at this. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" He's like, "Oh shit!" And like he just kind of like tosses it, like towards the center console, where Bit Larun is standing. He's just like, "We need to go. We need to go." Like he's already moving. And can I get all of you to make a coordination check? And this will be difficulty 3.
Okay.
I knew my luck was gonna run out with those.
Yeah. Cass is ready to go. He's had enough.
Is that enough?
He knows what he's not ready to mess with that guy.
All right. So at this point, the front windows of the room are just gonna just explode. Basically, like you guys are just kind of lacerated, like with minor sort of flesh wounds from this glass exploding. You just hear Bit Larun just like scream, and you guys kind of see this dark energy sort of begin pouring forward. Can I get all of you to roll a daunting? So actually no, it should be formidable. So 5, purple 5, fear check. So cool or discipline, your choice, gentlemen.
Cool for
It's the same
cool
for
for
me.
Cass.
I suggest that we flip a Destiny point each.
Yep, I think so. Okay, you flip one first, okay, and then I'll flip the other one.
Didn't help.
It would probably
I'm
help.
shitting
I'm
myself.
scared.
I am shitting myself.
Yeah, same roll. We got the same
And,
roll.
and you hear Bit Larun just again like the whole time screaming, and you hear Womprat just shouting. He's like, "We need to go, we need to go," and like
We're trying
we
to
need
go. Shut the hell up and do it.
And he's like, as
Help
he's
the
saying this, he's already booking it towards the room, like so the other exit, so not the one that you guys came in through, but like the other one.
Some fucking hero this guy is.
But the last thing you guys kind of see is you guys are kind of just deathly afraid. You just see Bit Larun being kind of enveloped by this energy and just kind of picked up and dragged out of the computer room, and he's just screaming the whole way as he down and gets pulled towards the temple.
Is he being pulled towards the figure?
Yes.
Can Cass take an action?
Sure.
Cass wants to fire at the figure, even though it's long range. He doesn't care. As soon as he sees Bit being pulled towards this guy, it's just his instinct reaction. He's just gonna shoot.
All right.
He's not really thinking about whether it's gonna work or not. He just wants to like even distract this guy to break the power of the holding Bit.
No, that's fine.
Okay. So I don't know like what the distance is or anything like that. What's gonna happen here?
So it would be you earlier picked up your sniper rifle again.
I'm gonna do it with my blaster.
Difficulty.
What?
I think we've lost him.
Okay, difficulty 3. He said though, right? That's the last thing I heard.
I think it was difficulty 3.
Okay. And do you think this counts as a quick strike? Like this thing hasn't acted yet?
Well, let's wait and see if he comes back.
Oh, I really hope so. I need that to die. For Bit. For Bit. It's for the
Damn
kid.
koala internet.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. There we go. I
Okay,
returned.
are you there?
What a terribly tense moment to leave.
I know, just like
All right, so it'll be difficult. I'm just going to presume that you picked up your sniper rifle earlier, and you're making the judgment call to grab that. So so it'll be difficulty 3.
Okay.
But you will have a
Can we
setback.
consider this? Okay, I'll have a setback
Yes.
from the power. Okay, from whatever's affecting us.
Yeah.
And can we consider this to be a quick strike, where it's the first combat action?
Yeah, that's fine. I will allow it, as they say.
Okay. All right. Cross your fingers. Here we go. For Bit. Oh, baby! Take that, Sith Lord.
So you see this Sith Lord kind of just kind of rocked in the shoulder as you kind of clip him. You can see him kind of like stumble to his knees for a second, and then he kind of just like looks up and you just see these yellow eyes, and he's just like he just looks at you. He's just like, "Run, little tadpole! Run, little worm! This one is mine!" And he just drags like this energy just drags Bit Larun in, and he's just screaming the whole time, and just really just callously and coolly as he reaches him, this figure just draws what appears to be a vibro sword and just beheads Bit Larun.
No! Oh, dude!
And then you just hear from the side like Womprat just yell like, "Come on, we gotta go!" And that is where I'm gonna leave you guys for the evening.
No! Oh.
Brutal.
Cass is gonna go fucking Nova at the start of the next section.
Damn it! We should have given him to the Black Sun.
Oh man. Oh, Cass is not happy about that. Oh man.
I think
That's all I can
Dranlo's
say
a
to
bit
that.
messed up by that.
Yeah.
Alright.
Awesome, dude. That was totally awesome.
That was awesome.
Well, that Sith guy took 10, 11 damage though too.
Oh yeah, dude, you got jacked up a little bit.
Yeah. So let's have that on record too. He's got 11 damage right now.
Fantastic.
Wow.
All right.
Awesome. Hey, I'm gonna stop the broadcast.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone who's watching. That was an awesome session, and we'll see you guys again for episode 5 later on. Bye bye.